All right, let's go here. We talked about this, Kelvin.
Yep.
Bill Belichick and the job at North Carolina, not a football school, and that now, Rob G. What the reports are that.
Oh, we got a lot of reports coming down. So
here it is.
We all heard yesterday that he had met with North Carolina.
And you remember I was questioning,
everybody was
why?
Charles Robinson, one of the most respected NFL reporters in the game right now, was like, look, we all know what this is. It's leverage for him to get back into the league, just show that his name is hot, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, we're like, what?
Well, today, that story has taken not one but two turns. One of them being Albert Breer, Sports Illustrated, another very plugged-in reporter, said, oh, the UNC thing is real. And it's not just that it's UNC, it's that Bill Belichick wants to return to coaching so badly next season that he's open to both college and the NFL. Obviously, he prefers the NFL, but he wants to get back on the sidelines somewhere. Flash forward a few hours, and The Guardian is reporting that the reason why UNC specifically is so appealing to Bill Belichick is not because they got a great football program. It's not because he expects to dominate college football the same way he dominated the NFL. It's because part of the agreement would be, if he takes that job with the Tar Heels, that his son, Steve Bellichick, would be on the staff and become the head coach in waiting for North Carolina.
Is this on?
It is.
Bill Belichick, do not do this.
Why not?
It would be the biggest mistake of his career, and his son should step up and say, Dad, don't do this. Bill Belichick has a chance to have the most wins in the history of the NFL. It's within his grasp. He should not be taking some college job to make sure that his son gets the job after he's done. Let his son earn his own way as a head coach in the NFL. This is bad. This would be dumb. It would be terrible. Bill Belichick belongs in the NFL. Bill Belichick belongs having a shot at capping off his great career, even though he cheated and even though I wouldn't vote for him right away on the Hall of Fame, if at all. But I'm talking about the numbers and what he's accomplished. To do this, to get your kid some job at North Carolina, if that's the only way your kid's going to make, really, how does that feel good for the kid? Of the son. Oh, the only reason I got the job, and as soon as Bill is out of the picture and the son loses, the school will run him out of there. I mean, come on. This is not the way we should be going about it. This should not be LeBron and Bronny, and the only way his kid could get a head coach. And what is he, Rob G., a defensive coordinator somewhere?
He's a defensive coordinator for the University of Washington. And again, he was on the staff in New England with Bellichick
that's
for
just
years.
nepotism. Nepotism.
Yeah.
Right? It's rampant all over the NFL. We know that. But this would be a mistake. I'm totally against this. It's wrong. And the kid, if that was my dad who was trying to help me out, I would say, Dad, please do not hurt your legacy or not finish your legacy by trying to help me get a job at North Carolina.
All right, here's where you're wrong. Let me help you out. Nobody knows who is the league leader in most of these, the all-time winningest manager in baseball. I don't know. All-time winningest coach in NBA history. I don't know. All I do know is Phil Jackson is one of the greatest coaches of all time. Popovich is one of the greatest of all time. If you want to go, Pat Riley is one of the all-time. Who's the best NFL coach of all time? Bill Belichick. Whether he was one more game, 0 more games, or 100 more games, we already know that. So the identity has to come back to be the all-time leader. It will be great in a utopian, Hallmark, Disney type of way, sure. But if it don't happen, it didn't change his legacy at all. The best running back, a lot of people say, is Barry Sanders. You know what he didn't do? You and I were talking about it yesterday off the air. He didn't come back and finish the deal and become the all-time leading rusher. But if you ask a lot of former NFL players who's the best running back, they'll say Barry Sanders. So I get your sentiment, and I really do understand that in a perfect world, why not get that accomplishment? But he's already accomplished what mattered most. He won a bunch of games, and he won, most importantly, those Super Bowl titles. So I think he's secure in that. And also, listen, man, in a perfect world, I understand where nepotism doesn't have to exist, or these opportunities, or your dad's best friend from college giving you a chance. But that's the way this world works. And it ain't what you know. is who you know. You know that, I know that. And so if his dad goes over there, he joins the staff, and Bill sets the culture, sets the team up, kind of sets the identity, and then says, here, kid, here's the keys to the kingdom. That happens all the time in real life. Bankers, people who own their own body shops, mechanics, just had law firms. Here, son, here, daughter, here's the key to the law firm. So I don't have a problem with it. And I definitely would actually think that'd be an interesting, a more heartwarming way for him to end his career than go to the Jets or the Giants and win the most wins ever, but did it by being 5-12 2 years in a row, and it just end up being ugly.
I just totally disagree with you. And nepotism is bad at all levels. I don't care. It just is. And I know it goes on. I'm not naive to it, but when people own their own business or family business, I don't look at that as nepotism, okay? If you own the store, your family's going to work there and your kids, that's not nepotism. If I started the law firm, that's not nepotism. I own it, okay? Bill Belichick does not own North Carolina, all right? Does not own the university. That's not his. And that's what's wrong when you start to do things like that. So I totally disagree with Jerry Jones owns the Dallas Cowboys. He owns the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. He has a right to have his kids work there. What he doesn't have a right is to have his kid on the team. And that's why he's never done that. That's what he hasn't done.
But if I have the right to the team.
So I'm not buying that. And anyway, what respect would his kid? What's his kid's name? Steve? What respect would he get knowing he came in through the back door and that's where he is? That's what Bronny has to face. That's the same thing that has been pushed down on Bronny, and now the guy, he can't do anything wrong. And Rob G, jump in.
Well, we got more as an update to this. The same reporter, Ollie Connolly for The Guardian, added more to this story just since we started doing this topic. In addition to Steve Bellichick would be on the staff as the head coach in waiting, additional staff members would include, you'll love this,
oh boy,
the pencil Matt Patricia and Ben McDaniels, who is the brother of longtime Patriots offensive coordinator.
This is
Josh
what I'm
McDaniels.
saying. Really, North Carolina's this desperate. They're not winning anything. Really, you're going to let Bill Belichick come and just cash out all of his family and friends? How disgraceful that is.
I was in it. I was all right with it until you said Matt Patricia. You had me at my son and some heartwarming ending to my coaching career. I was all right with that. Then you just brought up Matt Patricia. First of all, Rob G, why would you do that after my Lions won again, as you know my favorite song is, when you know I have PTSD from them getting rid of Jim Caldwell for Matt Patricia? Why would you bring that up, Rob G? How dare you interrupt my Friday that me and Rob were feeling good on this funky flashback Friday,
trying to ruin
and then
your
you want to
weekend.
go there.
Do
not ruin my weekend like Matt Patricia, walking around with a number 2 pencil with a laminated score sheet and an iPad. What you got a pencil for? Matt Patricia walking around with a grizzly old beard. Don't get me started on him. But
by the way, you see, you try to take credit for this current Lions team.
I know. Who?
We built the foundation, from the offensive line.
No, you were awful. You and Bob Quinn, awful.
Oh, my gosh. Matt Patricia, go away. Go coach a high school. I don't even know what state he's from. Go back to that state and go coach a high school football team there. And I'm sure you'll be great at that. Fine. But I'm not, again, before I knew that info, before Rob G hit us with that, again, sticking on his son, I had no problem with that in the sense that happens all the time. You got Kyle Shanahan. He got a hand up from his dad. It happens all the time. You got Lane Kiffin from his dad. If you coaching might be the worst nepotism in anything we got right now in sport. I mean, coaches throw more alley-oops to they are the walking Jason Kidds and Chris Pauls with all the alley-oops they throw. Gary Payton and Sean Kemp with the alley-oops in the NFL. I mean, there is rampant with sons who are assistant this, coaching that, team manager until I can find you. You're over our highlighting the highlight film. You go cut the tapes. It is all in there.
Yeah, but we know that. But I don't think his son should allow his dad to give up. The legacy does matter. We know.
Well, what changes? I'm really asking you, Rob.
No,
seriously, what changes?
It's just the idea that when they make your plaque and they put you in the Hall of Fame or that, you're the all-time winning coach. I think that does mean something. It's so fine that he won 6 Super Bowls, and that's good. but you played and you were the all-time winning coach, something that probably wouldn't even happen the way coaches don't get to stick around that long anymore, especially without winning. That's all I'm saying. And I just think that's not the way. I wouldn't want my job to be at the cost of my dad's legacy. That's all. If Bill Belichick was 100 wins away, then fine, have at it, if that's the way you want to get in. But he's within striking distance.
Rob, who has the most wins of all time as a coach?
Don Shula.
Who has the most in the NBA? I don't know. Nobody cares. Like, if he wins, that on the plaque doesn't change what he did and what we all know and the run he had. Like I said, in a perfect world, I get what you're saying. But to me, if I get a chance to prop up, help my son, and that be my legacy, I'd take more pride in that because what's
North
done
Carolina,
is done.
That's your legacy. If he was getting
his
the
son
job,
is younger than me.
If he was getting the job at Alabama, maybe if you could.
But that's how you get to Alabama.
If you could work your way to Alabama, then maybe I'll look at it. Really?
That's how you get to Alabama. Go win in North Carolina for 2 or 3 years,
right.
and then you get there. That's how you get there.